4 men are playing cards betting on their rare and precious weapons. These 4 people are Rogue, the strategist, Pooch, the expert in transportation and heavy armaments, Cougar, the expert in long-range weapons, and Jensen, the expert in technology and communications.
Right. Whoa!
The 5th person is Colonel Clay, the chief of operations. These 5 men are special forces ordered by a mysterious man from the CIA named Max to Bolivia to mark a place for drug and weapon smuggling. Fighter planes will destroy the place within 8 minutes. But because many children are made slaves, Clay wants the mission to be cancelled. Strangely, Max doesn't care and will still activate the bomb even though there are children. They were forced to break through the enemy base to save the children. 4 minutes later, the bombs are launched, Jensen and Pooch steal the vehicle, and the children are rescued, but Clay has to save another child upstairs who is being held hostage by their leader named Fadil. Less than 20 seconds left, then... Since there is only one helicopter, Clay wants only the children to be brought. And then... Max got no morality in this. Okay, so far, we don't know what happened and who Max really is. Then, the news claimed that 25 children were killed during the operation mission, and demonstrations at the American embassy ensued. Clay et al. Think that the CIA deliberately killed them. The 5 men who have been beaten are pretending to have died in the helicopter and will take revenge on the CIA. Clay and Rogue play cockfights, Jensen and Cougar work in a doll factory, and Pooch is a mechanic. They had to make money in Bolivia, get new passports and return to America unnoticed. Clay's goal remains the same, to find information about who Max is, the person who has tried to kill them. Clay et al. Never met Max and only got his orders. But Rogue says it's a waste of time because they're not soldiers anymore, and there's no way the 5 of them can fight all the CIA agents. Clay, who was feeling restless, was visited by ladies and gentlemen who suddenly asked him to do solely. But it turns out... Ms. S. goal is to help Clay. Her name is Aisha. Aisha knows that the 5 of them are still alive by counting the number of teeth in the helicopter wreckage. Aisha can bring Clay's troops back to America if Clay helps her find Max. Clay agreed, but if Aisha lied, he would kill her. The next day, Clay gathered his troops. Not too much identity that Jensen found about who Aisha really is. Then Aisha informs that Max will be in Miami in the next 97 hours. Max will be using an armored vehicle, and there will be at least 30 guards around him. Aisha has access to bring them back to America and will fund their entire mission, but Max must be caught. They also agreed and were very ready to fight the CIA. On the spot, Max is shown that he is torturing people who don't want to obey his orders. Max also saw how powerful a weapon of mass destruction called the Snook he would buy from engineers in India. Snook can destroy one small island. What kind of weapon is this? He plans to buy it and then resell it at a high price to anyone interested, wants to make war cake, makes it fun. The important thing is that Max can get a lot of money. Then, because the umbrella that you brought was exposed to the wind, you didn't use small talk and shot the nut. 5 male losers were successfully smuggled into America by being put in a coffin. Then they pretended to be soldiers who had an accident and asked for medical help. When the medical helicopter arrives, they anesthetize the troops and take the helicopter.
Ow! GPS? Got it!
While preparing for their next action, Rogue, who still doesn't believe Aisha, asks what he really wants from Max. Aisha said that she wanted to stop Max from buying dangerous weapons. Rogue also threatens to kill Aisha if he traps them. Mission in Miami begins. Rogue fires a tracker at one of the cars so Jensen can monitor it, while Cougar prepares to fire. As the situation gets chaotic and the road is blocked, the enemy troops immediately protect the main car where Max is. The gas was fired by Clay, and now it was Pooch's turn to take the main car by helicopter. But Max's right-hand man named Wade, seeing Pooch's face, Wade finally knew that Clay and his troops were still alive. Jensen also fired a lock so that the car door could not be opened, and the main car was successfully taken away. When the car was opened, Max wasn't inside, and strangely the troops didn't know who Max was, and they were all drugged. So it can be concluded that Max is not a member of the CIA but a smuggler who orders Clay, and on behalf of the CIA, it is not yet known what Max's goal is to destroy Fat Hill's headquarters, continued. The car's contents turned out to be a hard drive from the Goliath Company, where the files in it can be accessed only with the algorithm data in Goliath's company. Aisha is considered to have lied because Max is not in it. Clay still forgave him because maybe the hard drive could help him find Max. But Rouge, who is fed up, doesn't want revenge and just wants to live a normal life, and a fight ensues. Elsewhere, Wade tells Max that Clay and his friends are still alive, and they also attacked and stole the hard drive. The next day, Pooch doesn't want to continue the mission before Clay and Rogue make peace. They both finally apologize to each other for what happened yesterday. This time, it was Jensen's turn to act. He disguised himself as a courier, behaved strangely, and entered Goliath's office.
Just waiting.
Then Jensen called Henderson, the head of HRD there. Jensen claimed to be from security and asked Henderson to come down to the lobby because there was an important matter. Now Jensen disguised himself as a technician and reasoned he would fix Henderson's computer. Jensen quickly took the required algorithm data, then security came.
Skippy from tech support, here to install the firewall on it. Doesn't look.
Jensen, who was surrounded, suddenly threatened security to shoot him with his finger because he was a secret government experiment. Sorry, bro, here you are, not the Captain America. And when security didn't believe Jensen's bullshit, all of a sudden, Jensen also uploaded the stolen algorithm to the hard drive. It turns out that the hard drive contains the money Max received, as much as $400 million from selling Snook to international terrorists. The terrorists are like the snake pre-order, so La pays the down payment. The cash flows into the Los Angeles harbor, and that's probably where Max's base is. An Indian engineer named Vikram, the owner of the Snook, raises the price of the Snook to $1 billion. Max, who gets the news from Wade, first agrees with Vikram's request, so that the transaction can still run. Max's headquarters is protected by many former special forces. They devised a strategy to break in. In the evening, Aisha came to Clay again to have fun, while the others were chatting casually. Pooch is worried about the condition of his wife, who is very pregnant. Then when Jensen traced the relationship between Fat Hill and Max, Jensen found that Fat Hill had $4 million in his son's account. Will avenge his father's death to kill Max. They broke into the pharmacy to treat the gunshot wound to Jensen's hand. Pooch is worried because Aisha already knows their identity, plans, and family. Pooch wants to go home to his wife and take Jensen, who also has a niece. Clay agreed, because he was the one who put their family's life in danger. But Clay, Rogue, and Cougar will still be hunting for Max. Until finally Jensen and Pooch continued the mission.
I'll drive. 5.
They sneak into the harbor and take their positions.
Hey, you!
What's the password?
Let us in or I'll kill you.
When the explosives are set, Rogue asks Clay to look at the contents of the container, and it turns out
Cokes.
Well, what do we have here?
Where do you think you're going?
Oh, yeah.
Rogue is a traitor because he doesn't want their lives threatened only because of revenge. Clay also quipped and congratulated Rogue for helping CIA elements to buy Snook's deadly weapon.
You're gonna die very badly.
They are all caught and will be killed. Then what happened? They all survived and sought cover. Then Aisha came to ask if Clay had killed Fat Hill. Clay said yes. It turns out that Fadil plans to stop Max's evil plan to buy Snook, and that's why Max destroys Fadil's headquarters so that his plan can run smoothly. But after all, Fadil is still a criminal. Clay gives Aisha a choice: kill her, or continue Fadil's wish to stop Max.
Let's go get Max.
When the transaction is about to be carried out, Max breaks his promise and will kill Vikram and his gang so that he no need to pay for the snook. Vikram is asked to turn on the snook right then and there. Max's goal has been to create global terror so that he can be more powerful. Then the losers came. Clay chased Rogue, who was loading money into the plane, while the others are chasing Wade. Rogue's arm was broken and he fled into the plane. Clay, who was chasing him, was kicked out by Rogue. The plane would turn around enough to take off. Rogue intends to run away from there and steal Max's money, but Wade immediately chases after him. Then Clay, who was between the rogue plane and Wade's motorbike, managed to kill them both. The snook bomb was activated, the detonator was given to Max, then Vikram was killed. Clay also chases Max, who will escape from there. Max threatens to suppress the detonator, and what happened?
Give me the trigger, I'll let you live.
Max has run away. Clay promises to keep hunting him.
It's a nice watch, Holmes.
They all finally survived. One night, the mission will be carried out, but only Pooch moves and the others are monitoring from outside. And it turns out,
Pooch can do this.
Pooch sneaks into the hospital to meet his wife, who has given birth to a boy. It's really complicated, like going to war. They all celebrate the birth of Pooch's child. In the after credits, Jensen and the others are supporting Jensen's nephew at a ball game. But because the referee feels it's unfair, don't complain, Jensen, it's a mistake. Did you enjoy this video? Check out this other clips from Recap Go. Consider to like and subscribe.